Knights existed during the middle of the Middle Ages to the end, and were originally noblemen on horseback that fought for the king or church. The Crusades also saw birth to knightly brotherhood orders or religious cults. Over time, the number of knights grew, and during the 14th century, a chivalric code was created in France, which was adopted by most knights. In doing so, it brought more respect and prestige to their rank. While chivalry sometimes focused on the generous treatment of the less fortunate and less powerful, it more so focused on protecting the interests of elites. Knights could gain their title by being part of extreme religious cults such as Templar, Hospitaller, and Teutonic Knights that arose during the Crusades. A knight could also gain his honorary title of knighthood from a king, bishop, or other political or religious leader. They could do this by noble descent, being raised and trained into knighthood because of their blood, or they could be recognized for their bravery in battle. Knights under a political or religious leader could be given benefices. As an example, fiefs were a type of land given to a knight from a king. Originally, knightly warfare required a noble that fought on horseback to be accompanied by a knight, commonly on warhorse, and foot soldier. As time progressed, however, so did technology, causing an arms race between foes. For example, the improvement of longbow/crossbow forced plate mail, the common type of armor during the middle of the medieval ages, to become full plate armor, dramatically changing the flexibility of the knight, therefore changing warfare. The invention of the castle during medieval Europe was a way of reacting to the small raiding parties such as Vikings' rise in numbers. A castle could sufficiently protect elites or monarchs from raiders and armies too big to face in open battle. The castle also caused a huge downfall of horseback riders, as against the fortifications they were useless. A new type of warfare, siege warfare, was introduced, where battles could take months or years to demoralize or damage the defending army enough for them to accept defeat. Powerful siege engines such as the ballista, a catapult used to hurl large stones at the enemy, or the trebuchet, used to hurl large rocks or other missiles at an enemy castle, and the siege tower, a mobile tower used to be pushed against the wall of a castle so that troops at the top could enter the fortress, were invented. The Crusades were a series of religious wars, caused as a response to religious leaders' call for Christian Europeans to take arms in order to claim the Holy Land from Islamic possession. There were a total of 9 crusades, which spanned over the course of 207 years, from 1096 to 1291. They had many different leaders contribute in command, such as Richard the Lionheart, Louis VII of France, and Godfrey of Bouillon. There were a total of 30 major recorded battles that took place during the 9 Crusades, some of which have been named the Battle of Pelagonia, the Battle of Morat, and the sacking of Constantinople, held between Western Europeans and Southeastern Europeans due to a disagreement in ethic between 2 leaders. Jerusalem, among other Holy Lands, switched hands many times during the 200-year War, but was finally completely under Islamic control by the end of the Crusades. Whilst the Crusades ultimately ended in the defeat of the Europeans, some argue it extended the reach of Christianity and followed with an increase of wealth for churches and popes. Because of the constant need for supplies demanded by the Crusaders, trade and transportation also experienced improvements. For Islams, however, the Crusades were seen as an immoral, bloody, and savage war, which is still resonating, and Western Europeans' involvement in the Middle East today is still sometimes referred to as a crusade by some.